Certain decks it's good. I just don't think it's that amazing. Alright, so we Wicked Roll. Got that 5/5 flyer in the AO. And we win. Like, see what I mean? Like, it's not even risky. They don't have the giant growth. They don't have anything weird. Okay? So yeah, what we do here is we just slap this down. Wicked Roll token. We can do this. Put in hand. We don't even need to cast it. We win. Boom. So yeah, that's the power of the Charming Scoundrel off the top. This is sort of the power of it, right? You slap this down. Boom. You put the Wicked Roll. Boom. Flying. That is 18 damage in the air. Okay, today we're doing Boros Auras. Absolutely overlooked. I think that Archon of the Wild Rose is a pretty insane creature. There's a lot of creatures that can actually make aura tokens and things like that, right? Mostly and namely our Spellbook Vendor here. This actually is a really, really good card, right? We can put this aura token at the beginning of combat at any of our creatures. All of a sudden, they're going to fly over as a 4/4, doing a ton of damage. This creature sort of acts as a mana sink as well. It's really nice. Notably, you'll see in the video today that Charming Scoundrel is a Haste 5/5. When you put the Wicked Roll token on it and then swing with Haste, you're going to fly on over. Your Archon is swinging. Pretty much all you need is like 1 or 2 good combats sort of early, and then you can pretty much end the game for sure with like a 3rd combat, sometimes just 2, depending on how big you get. Your Heartfire Heroes act as a really good target for a lot of our spells, of course, right? Whether that be a Demonic Ruckus, which we can actually cast on turn 1. So we do have a nice density of, well, we have some 1-drops that can be pretty good, right? We can hold up the mana for Elspeth Smite as a removal spell. Monstrous Rage, of course, if we just have 1 extra mana, is a really good way of getting in some early damage as well, because you do sort of need at least 1 combat before you sort of swing with like usually 3 creatures that will sort of end the game, especially if they have any sort of life link, right? Which there are many decks going around. So yeah, pretty good stuff. We're also playing Torch the Towers removal spell because we can sacrifice our auras if we, don't necessarily need them, because you can only have 1 aura on a creature at a time anyway, so that works out pretty nicely. But yeah, mostly in the 2-drop slot, right? We're running a Lightning Helix as a removal spell and 3 Get Lost. This is going to help, clear the way, whether that be a flyer or just something that is slightly bigger than their creatures. So again, we can get those early swings in. I actually really like the Stoat here. The Stoat is a way of gaining a little bit of a life. It stops some early combat damage so that we can actually get to the point where we can swing over with Archon. So yeah, Archon's really, really nice. It has a big target on its head. If it gets removed in the middle of combat, that can be a little unfortunate. But at least our creatures won't be too small because they should have some auras on top of them as well. Now, Kellan, the Fae-Blooded, is a really good card. This is going to help us search up our auras and equipment if we don't necessarily have them. It's also a creature that's going to boost all of our other creatures. And a double strike flyer is not too shabby, being we can just put anything on him. So a very good card here. Also, we are running 1 ossification, so we can search up an ossification if we really need a removal spell, if we don't happen to have any of our earlier damage ones. Because sometimes, right, we don't have enough damage. This does 3, this does 3. So sometimes creatures are larger than that, so you might need an ossification. So sort of acts as a way of getting that if we need it. We're running 1 hop to it just to actually have some board presence. This was the last card I added. Sometimes you just need some chunk blockers. Other times you just need some targets for Spellbook Vendor to start growing them. All of these can eventually become flyers, so that's nice. Etali's Favor is a really good aura that's going to help us find some of these other smaller creatures, right? Also giving Trample, pretty good, right? Early damage, so we get to the point where we can kill them in 1 swing. But this is just a great way of fetching out anything smaller on the curve, which we obviously have. So yeah, very good stuff here. Charming Scoundrel, you'll see, I already talked about this, but in the video, that Haste flying is incredible. Wins the game out of nowhere. So pretty good little list here. It comes together nicely. We are running 22 lands. Now, Restless Biovac, whatever, is sorry if my head's covering a little bit, but this can be a 2/2 creature that puts a counter on something which can target your Heartfire Hero, helping it grow a little bit, making the blocks a little bit worse for them. And it's not too uncommon where, say, you don't have anything, you just need one more flyer, but you have a Spellbook Vendor, where you can fly over with this if you really, really need to, right? Assuming your Spellbook Vendor already has an aura and Archon's chilling on the field. So it acts as a way in case you get board wiped. Maybe you'll have at least one creature that can maybe end the game. We're running 3 Surveils to help sort of those earlier turns find those lands when we need them. So you are running 22. You don't necessarily have to run 3 of these because we don't really have any graveyard synergy, but this is what I went with. We're also doing just 1 Inspiring Advantage, since we're earlier on the curve, and 1 Battlefield Forge. And then 7 and 7 down the middle. It's pretty split evenly between the manas, between the colors. So I like it quite a bit. You could maybe like take out a Stoat, maybe add 1 more Get Lost, right? Be a little bit more control-y. Or you could, take out some of these spells and add a bit more creatures. I was trying like a Cacophony Scamp instead of the Tortoise Tower earlier, which, is just as good as Heartfire Hero in a lot of ways. So there's a lot you can do with the deck. But yeah, again, any creature enchanted, right? So any of these auras that we have that we can hard cast, or just, of course, the Spellbook Vendor, pumping them out. Monstrous Rage, you'd think you'd run 4, but really, we don't have too many 1-drops or anything. So sometimes you get this in your hand early and you can't really do anything with it. Plus, you can only have 1 aura attached at a time. So that sometimes competes with Spellbook, and we're trying to be as efficient as possible every turn. So this is sort of what I ended up with after testing a little bit. Okay, so here we are. I don't like this hand so much, but I think we'll take it. We have 3 mana. Hopefully Charming Scoundrel can... Well, we'll see what we end up doing. We might make the treasure to try to get the Archon, and we might just discard a card if we get another land. So we did get another land. Not so great. So we could pitch that. I want to lay that creature land just in case we're going to need that later. But yeah. Okay, so there's the Heartfire. That's really nice. So, there was a fly on me. On my eyeball. Another Archon. Let's go ahead and take it. Just in case our other one gets removed. They are playing black. Aura's off. So, high likelihood. Archons do have a big target on their head, right? If it gets removed, then we don't have the 4/4 flyers anymore. And we're going to need them against bats, as it appears. Okay. Best play is Charming. Put the Wicked Roll on to Homeboy Skillet. We go ahead and swing. And if they try to block the Charming Scoundrel, be cheeky about that. We kill the Zorline. So we get in a nice little 7 damn OJs. And then when we slap down Archon here, we are almost in position to win the game. They do have some removal. Does it get exiled? Was that an exile clause? No, it wasn't. So they take the 3, which is really important. Now, hop to it, we only have 1 in the deck. Mostly... I was experimenting with Sanguine Evangelist. I was running like 4 at the beginning, and that was really nice. I forget sort of why. It's just you need like a high density of 2-drops, and you're sort of making like 3-drop plays with the Spellbook Vendor, putting those tokens on it. So another Archon. Okay, well, that's just how it's gonna be today. I think we swing here, take advantage of while we have it. They want to remove the Archon so they can keep swinging, but they go ahead and establish board presence and on the removal. They can't swing. We got that 4/4 body. So, interesting. We could possibly Elspeth Smite something here. I don't think that's going to be the case. Let's go ahead and swing with both. Okay. I think that is totally fine. Right? We get rid of their boy. The life link is really unfortunate. We just slap down another one. So, Not ideal. We're gonna need like one removal spell to really put the pressure on here. Um, mm, 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 mm. Okay, a little ping damage, probably worth it, but we'll definitely get rid of one of their blockers. No, this is the one. Yeah, okay. It's actually not too bad of a card. Offspring's really good, right? Giving cards the ability to be cast like later like this. Okay. Well, we slap it down. Yeah, we just keep swinging. We just have to keep putting the pressure. We gotta force them to block here. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff that I really like here. I think we are going to. We're gonna do that so they don't get the life link. And I think, yeah, we just slap this down too. So either way, we have the flying pressure going on. So yeah, this deck actually does really good against bats. We did not get the draws we wanted. Okay, so there we go, right? This is sort of the power of it, right? You slap this down, boom. You put the wicked roll, boom, flying. We win. That is 18 damage in the air, haste 5/5 flyer out of nowhere. Let's go. So that's the kind of power of it, right? Very good. You can also get rid of extra lands if you don't need to with this card. The treasure if you don't have those lands. So very flexible, very perfect creature for this type of deck. We did get way too many Archons there, but it ended up working out. So let's get into another one. Okay, so I was just against the slowest opponent to ever play the game. So I'm kind of fired up. But I don't know if I'll put it in the video. Maybe it was. But let's keep this. We have 2 removal spells, 2 creatures. That's actually pretty good. I don't think we could ask for too much more. Spellbook Vendor, though. Very important creature to our strategy here. Okay. We're going to do this. We're going to make the treasure in this case. We have 3 mana, which is pretty critical for the deck. Of course, you need 4 for Archon, but we can wait a while because we do need to build up our board with the what are these called? Sorcerer Roll tokens. You know, we could have put the Wicked on it, which actually won us the last game. I'll see if maybe I'll just put the highlight in the intro or something. But okay, they had that for the mousey. Slap that down. Put this on this, I think, because we're able to swing this turn. The scries are usually pretty nice here, so we don't necessarily want that. You think Monstrous Rage would be like our go-to in this deck, but usually it's like if we have it, it's good. But at this point in the game, we don't really need it. We just need any sort of roll, so we can do that with our spellbooks. We'll see how much removal that they're running. Many times they just sort of, okay, so it looks like a little bit of a different kind of deck. Okay, so I don't think they're heavy removal. Mostly green based here. So what we do here is we swing, put the roll on homie. If they block, I find that a little interesting. Don't necessarily want that, even though that's a good removal spell. This is a little bit better. We could keep this. No, let's look for the Archon or the land that we're going to need. So they do block. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Get this down. I almost want, see, I wanted to wait for this guy to level up this. However, it's probably not too important to their strategy. Depends on what kind of vibe they're running. But if they waste more mana on it and then we remove it, that's obviously pretty nice. Okay, so they went for the blocker. We do get the mana, which is decent. I think we remove this. And we hold up the other one. We'll decline. They won't have any haste creatures. This is good. This is good. Let's keep it here. We'll see if we get a nice little hit off of it, right? Gosh, that last game was weird to me. Weird to me. I mean, he was thinking so much on like turn 2. Like, took him like 30 seconds for each half of the Fabled Passage. It's turn 3. It's like, am I gonna lay my Nissa or am I gonna do the offspring of my Iridescent Vine Lasher? I don't know. Let me think about it for a full minute. Like, dude, come on. I think there's a limit, and I think he passed it. So he probably has removal here. Do we swing first? Let's swing first. Let's be safe. Decline. Decline. Let's be safe because he probably has removal. Yep. So that's good. We will get another red. Don't necessarily want that. This is a lot better. Let's keep that there because we're going to hit it with Etali. So it's good that we didn't commit because they would have removed that at instant speed. We wouldn't get our Discover 3. And now we have this creature. Do I want to lay the creature right away or get the aura? I think I lay the creature right away. And we do have some removal to clear the vibe. In fact, we can win on swing here next turn if they leave it completely open. I doubt it, though, because they have a lot of food to work with. And then they have the 2 map tokens. That's right. So. Okay. What's in their graveyard anyway? Interesting. This card of all things, huh? Isn't there like a lot better 1-drop vibes? There's no Lawnmower Elves, but I thought there's better than that. Maybe there isn't. Maybe that's the dinosaur related one. But they left it wide open for us. Yeah, we didn't want that mana. But we pay for this. I mean, the scry is really nice here. That's also really nice. Don't necessarily want that. And we win, right? Okay. So, very interesting opponents up on the ladder today. Very bad opponents, but we did what we needed to do nonetheless. You saw the power of the scrying. Of course, Spellbook Vendor is like our main go-to way of establishing the roles. And, if we slap down an Archon at any point here, they just get huge. Kellan has double strike, things like that. And we still kept 2 of our removal spells from our opening hand, so we can certainly clear the way. They appear to be out of removal themselves. So let's get into another game to show you the actual synergies of powerful interactions. Okay, let's get one more for you. I'm actually recording this on a separate day because my internet went down for a little while there. I took just a little bit of a break after that. It just so happens. But we did get our 3rd mana here, which is really good because we need to get up to our Archon eventually. Let's actually plot this. The Surveil land on the next turn could be good, but we'll probably just lay Spellbook Vendor. Okay, so they must have top decked that, or else I imagine they'd lay that first. Okay. Yeah, so we did get the mana, which is actually nice. I think we have to do this. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell. They are playing Selesnya, so this is one of the decks where they might not have it. They could have a Get Lost here. Demonic Ruckus is really good, right? Menace, Trample, drawing a card. We essentially cast it for 1 mana there, doing something on our first turn, which we wouldn't have otherwise. Okay, so they can't necessarily swing. So we stopped damage that turn, which is really, really good. I think this is probably a turn we surveil. That's really nice, right? That's going to be our Haste boy. I think we take advantage of this for sure. We do have the Vig. And the scry is really nice, but we do want that. Now, if they double block, that'd be amazing. But we could probably remove something with Elspeth Smite here, which would be really good. Not too shabby. Probably the best case scenario for that. Okay, so they have the ward, which is really not great. So do we eat this? I mean, we can nicely block here. We do have to take 5. Yeah, that's pretty much what we could only do there. So I imagine if we slap down Archon, we're sort of just racing them. Okay. I mean, it's another creature. Do we want? I think that's probably fine. Probably fine. We could at least block the smaller guys. Get a little lifelink action. If we can't end it next turn. So yeah, we should be able to win the game here. Unless they have a 1 mana instant that boosts them 4. Which, is there one that's based off of your creatures? I think there's one that's off of the basic lands that you control. Giant Growth gives them 3. If it's Giant Growth, I will find that very funny. We can only do 9 if we do the haste off the top. But we could also Etali's Favor. So actually, just in case, we're gonna do this just in case some cheesy thing happens. Now this block could be bad for us. Let's not even risk it. Let's not even risk it. They don't have a giant growth. They don't have anything weird. Okay. So yeah, what we do here is we just slap this down. Wicked Roll token. We can do this. Put in hand. We don't even need to cast it. We win. Boom. So yeah, that's the power of the Charming Scoundrel off the top. Very good stuff. So yeah, you can see I hadn't really been playing. You know, the thing reset. I actually lost a couple games. One I just quit because I just didn't get anything. And I wanted to get a game where, you know, we show off the Charming Scoundrel and some of the other creatures that I hadn't quite showed off yet. Now, I didn't really do the best showcase or whatever of this deck, mostly due to just kind of being in a weird state of mind. When I was playing, I found it a little bit frustrating. I had some opponents that just, yeah, they were taking forever. We got some insane top decks. We like flooded land. But I think that we're running 22 lands, a bunch of 2-drops. We can take advantage of turn 3 with 3 mana with our Spellbook Vendor and that extra, putting the Aura token cost 1, right? Elspeth Smite, things like that can sort of fill the gap. Monstrous Rage. So we can have some pretty good swings. Spellbook Vendor having Vigilance was actually really good as well. And the only reason I blocked there, right, was just in case they had some weird pump spell. So, pretty good deck. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It actually wins a lot of games, contrary to kind of what I was just leading on. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find some success. I think Archon is absolutely overlooked right now. So, much love, you guys. I'll see you in the next video.